My name is Amanda, and I grew up in Old Forge, New York. If you've ever been there in winter, you know how quiet it gets. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, more of the ominous, off-putting kind. Snow absorbs sound, and at night, especially along Route 28, the forests feel endless. As a kid, I used to press my forehead against the cold car window, staring between the trees, half expecting to see it. Everyone in Old Forge knows the story of the Greyman. The story started in the late 1970s, long before I was born. Kenneth Schmidt, a wildlife photographer, got caught in a sudden Adirondack snowstorm while tracking deer trails miles outside of town. He claimed he stumbled across an old settlement he said was likely established in the late 1600s, rotting cabins and collapsed structures that weren't on any map. When he tried to take shelter inside one of them, he said he wasn't alone. What he saw was tall, emaciated, and gray from head to toe. Human in shape, but not right. Long arms, a sunken face. He said its eyes were black pits, hollow pits in its skull. He ran. Kenneth claimed it stalked him through the storm, pacing him, never rushing, just following. He barely made it back to town alive. The only proof he had was a single photograph, blurred, grainy, and unmistakably wrong. That image became local legend. It's hung behind the counter of the diner for years now. Parents warned their kids with it. Teenagers dared each other to hike too far out. And every winter night driving past the forest, you couldn't help but think of that shape standing just beyond the tree line. I thought it was just a story, until the vanishing of Emily Carter. Emily was 16. Everyone knew her. She lived 3 streets over from me and worked weekends at the grocery store. In early December, she went out for a short walk near the trails just outside town. She never came back. By noon, the search parties had formed. The temperature was already dropping, and we all knew the truth. Once the sun went down, the cold would do what predators didn't. I joined the search that afternoon, as did many others. The canopy of the forest swallowed sound immediately. Snow was falling lightly, steady enough to erase footprints within minutes. We spread out, calling Emily's name, our voices muffled by scarves and distance. After a while, the group thinned, people drifting off in different directions, sticking loosely to radio chatter. After some time, I came to a small creek. It was at the bank when I found the glove. It was small, red, frozen stiff, and half buried near the base of a tree. There was dark staining along the fingers that didn't look like mud. I remember standing there too long, my breath fogging the air, my stomach sinking as reality set in. I radioed it in and was told to stay put. If only I had listened. Something about the area felt wrong, too quiet, even for winter. And nearby, I noticed a shallow path pressed into the snow through the underbrush. Not boot prints, too narrow, too irregular, like something that moved back and forth often. Against my better judgment, I followed it. The trees grew thicker, the light dimmed faster than it should have. My radio went silent. At some point, I realized I couldn't hear the others anymore. Not even distant voices. I was lost. The path eventually opened into a clearing, and I stopped dead in my tracks. The snow there was perfect, untouched, smooth as a blank sheet of paper. No wind marks, no animal tracks, except one set. Small footprints led from the tree line toward a cluster of dark shapes ahead. My heart pounded as I realized what I was looking at. The collapsed cabins, old stone foundations, the remains of walls half buried in snow. I was at the old settlement, the one that was never supposed to exist. The air felt heavy, like pressure before a storm. No birds, no wind, just silence so complete it made my ears ring. That's when the story came rushing back to me, the photographer, the storm, what he witnessed here. And standing at the edge of the clearing, staring at those footprints disappearing between the structures, I realized the footprints only went one way, leading into the settlement. That's where I was sure I would find Emily, but what I wasn't sure of is what else I would find.